chaos. "You know what's happening, Nancy," I said, my own tone softer than hers. There are times when I'm grateful for my Georgian accent, though I haven't lived in that part of the country for going on 20 years now. My drawl is gentler than the main accent, making me seem more compassionate than I necessarily am. This morning, I used that to full effect. "You've got a choice," I continued. "Either find a place for the animals or the state will intervene and take them. Wouldn't you rather know where they're going?" A dog, who looked like a mix between a Sheltie and a rat, came up to her and took a corner of her robe between his teeth, pulling at it with menacing little yips and growls. "Knock it off, Oswald," she said, though there was tenderness underlying the words. "You want to play? Go find Albie. I ain't got the time." Albie was Nancy's youngest son, a quiet, tense man with a number of cognitive challenges that had kept him reliant on his mother into his adult years. Discouraged, Oswald shifted his focus to us, still outside the fence. He nosed through the chicken wire, his attention fixed on Jack. The ex-agent took a step back. Jack Juarez had seen plenty in his day, I knew, but Oswald still seemed a little beyond him. I heard him curse under his breath, and he glanced at me as he bent to clean dog crap from his leather shoes. "Have you thought about what we talked about the other day?" I pressed Nancy, ignoring Jack and Oswald for the moment. "If you can find a place for, say, 3/4 of the dogs, they're special needs," she said immediately, cutting me off. Regardless of her animosity, she opened the gate and ushered us in, hollering and kicking at any dogs who dared try and escape. I glanced at Jack to see if he was still on board, but there was no time for a discussion. Game as always, he followed me through the gate and into territory I was sure was completely foreign to anything he'd ever seen before. 2 stunted pug mixes had taken up the charge with Oswald, successfully herding Jack back toward the gate before he'd managed more than a couple of steps into the yard. "Nobody's gonna take them dogs," Nancy continued. "Half the ones in the house have health problems, and nobody's house-trained in the lot. You tell me, who'll take that on but me? Besides, they've only ever known me." Jack managed to extricate himself from the dogs, albeit momentarily, and stepped forward with a beguiling smile that was precisely the reason I'd asked him along in the first place. "This is quite a setup you have here. If you don't mind me asking, how many dogs do you have exactly?" Nancy stared at him with dark, withering eyes for a full 2 seconds before she turned to me. "Who in hell is this?" So much for Jack Juarez's irresistible charm. "Jack Juarez," I said. "He's helping me out today." "Well, he doesn't need to be here." She stopped speaking altogether, arms folded over her bony chest while she waited. "Why don't you go check in with Bear?" I said to Jack, nodding toward the back of the property. "I'll let you know when I need you to." "You're not going to need them at all," Nancy said. Jack started to protest, but thought better of it when Oswald and his pack approached again. "You know where to find me," he said. I waited until he was out of hearing range before I shifted my focus back to the old woman. "What in Hades are you doing here, Nancy?" I said. I tried to infuse some compassion into the question, though that wasn't easy. "You need help here. You must see that. You've got dogs literally busting out the seams of that house, not to mention the state of the farm animals out in the field. Have you looked at those cows? I can count their ribs from here. The llama's teeth need filing. The sheep need sharing." The more I went on, the tighter Nancy held herself. I watched